closer to me. There we go. I wonder how many people I'm going to have in tonight. Hey, Chels.
Hiya.
I knew you were going to come in straight away.
Yeah, thought why not? Keep your company.
Yeah. I'm glad somebody likes to come in and keep it going, because I don't get as many people coming into my streams as I used to.
Yeah,
When
it's
I
kind
first...
of weird in a sense.
I know, it's I got so many subscribers and that, but then I don't get many people watching my videos anymore.
Mm.
To be honest, I think YouTube is very slowly becoming obsolete now, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like unless you're I know quite a lot of people have had issues where if channels have been like not used quite often, they just kind of start deleting old accounts for some reason. So a lot of people have lost quite a lot of subscribers.
Yeah. Yeah, but some people though, they make videos and stuff to make memories and stuff for their family to look back on if they pass away.
Yeah, I know one guy that I watch, he did used to do daily vlogs for a while and then he stopped. He's come back to do them now, but I kind of do feel because he's his girlfriend is due their baby soon, so he keeps saying in every video, oh, it's X amount of days until they call the baby Jelly Man at the moment. I don't actually know if they know the gender or they're just keeping it a secret until it's born, but he did quite a few videos because he used to live in America for a while.
So where's he living now? Is he living in the UK?
He lives in Manchester, so he lived in America for quite a few years and did quite a lot of obviously over there just doing different things and seeing different YouTubers and stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously he does quite a lot now here, but obviously I do feel he probably will eventually maybe not do that many uploads when his baby's born, because I feel like most YouTubers that have had kids, they kind of just die off a bit.
Well, yeah, but sometimes they've got to, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, I know that PewDiePie's obviously, he's got a kid now, and I think he uploaded one video of that child, and then I don't know if he's uploaded anything since, but I think he kind of just got to a point where he just didn't want to, and I'm I don't blame him, to be fair.
Yeah, PewDiePie, I think he's the biggest YouTuber now, isn't he?
I think one of the ones I know that I watch, I know Liam watches Mr. Beast, and I've seen a couple of his videos, but I'm not an advocate, really big fan of him. I don't mind what he does, but I do think he's done quite a lot of videos where it's 10,000 pound house to compared to a 1,000 holiday, and I'm just great for you because you have the money, but it's also it's a bit just trying to sort of big himself up in a way.
Yeah, PewDiePie does still post stuff, but he doesn't post as regular as he used to. I think
Yeah.
that's down to the fact that he's got a kid.
Yeah, I know that, because obviously, I stopped kind of I only really watched him a few times when there's a lot of like controversial videos like years ago that he did that people like reacted to, and like I watched a couple and then I like stopped watching him, but I knew that like his I don't know if they're married or not, but I know like obviously that she was pregnant with his kid, so I was kind of like, oh yeah, he's probably not going to do videos. Or most people then go into like family kind of like vlogging channels then, which is just, I feel like some family vlogging channels are quite weird.
Yeah.
I've watched quite a few that have gone from like, you think normal family to really like just shoving a camera in their kid's face every day, which I kind of feel like that child has no say when they're a baby.
I know. You want to know another thing I don't like is when parents film their kids when their kids obviously don't want to be filmed.
Yeah, there was quite a few vlogging channels, like family ones that I watched, where like they'd film their kid in the bath, and I'm like, film your kid when they're like, you know, playing in the garden or like in the house or whatever. But like when they're having a bath, I generally feel like, really, do you really need to film that? Like, film it for yourself as a memory, fair enough, but don't post it on the internet for like weird pedos to freaking watch. Like, it's your kid. Come on.
I know. Like, I watched Scare Theatre's latest video the other day. He done a video about a YouTube channel called 8 Passengers.
Oh yeah, they're the mum's in she's in prison at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And
don't
the other woman as well, Jodie, she got
yeah.
arrested as well.
Yeah, because she was kind of like, they were both kind of part of it, because like it's basically one of her like kids had got like, they'd got out through like basically a window, and they went to like the neighbors, because obviously
Yeah, that's it. We're talking about the same thing.
yeah.
And the neighbor called the police, wasn't there?
Yeah, because they were like, they could see that he was
Yes.
malnourished and whatever, but I know their older sister, like she's got custody of like two of the kids, and then like the others are with like social services.
Yeah, you want to know what I don't get is why Kevin isn't facing any charges. With partner.
Yeah, that's what I
Or
don't really
ex.
understand. It's a bit weird because obviously he knew, you know, he had a inkling and he knew what was going on, so I don't see why they're not really targeting him as much. But like, there's been a lot about like obviously the older like daughter, because obviously she's got custody of the two younger ones, and I'm like, they've been like, I'm like, she pretty much in a sense raised them. Like obviously she's tried to do everything to protect them, but they were all going through like similar things. And like there's people that were posting like snippets of like their old videos before they got taken down on YouTube, where she's like, she gave them chores to do, and she's like, you can't have food until you've done the chores. And then they do their chores, and she's like, no, you're not having any food.
Oh God.
It was like one of the kids, like they forgot their packed lunch, and the school had phoned her to say, you know, can you bring, I think it was her daughter Emmy or something.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
I think it was Emmy. Like she wouldn't take her like food, and she was like, oh, she's just gonna have to like starve. And I was like, that's your kid. Like, just like you.
I know. It's like, why would you do that?
I was like, you can't do that. I was like, you're a mum. Like,
I know.
your child forgets their food. It's not as if she did it intentionally. I was like, she was a kid.
And there was another video where they were at the dinner table having dinner, and they asked the one kid to stop texting, so he hands Kevin his phone, and then he starts reading the message out loud at the dinner table.
Yeah, I found that really wrong, because I'm like, obviously it's an invasion of privacy, and like obviously I don't think he wants that read out physically on the internet for like people to sort of know who he was talking to.
I know, and it's like Eric said in his video, he said all of his peers at school are gonna see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I kind of felt like it was wrong, like sort of the way that she treated her kids, and like the fact that she
Mm.
like she said to, like, she's now trying to claim that one of her kids is like an abuser and a rapist, and I was like,
Oh, I know.
okay, if your kid had done that, I was like, but you look like you put them in the same room as each other, so I was like, if you would do that, why would you keep them in the same room?
Mm.
It doesn't
No,
make much sense.
I know. But it's like, I think she was making it up just to lessen the charges, I reckon.
Yeah, I feel like there's nothing like I feel like there's nothing that she can do. It's like everyone's like there's so many cases that like have gone to court that people go, oh, like they should have got more of a
So
sense.
when did them 8 passengers actually end then?
Um,
Like
I
when
don't
did
know.
the channel end?
I think after she pretty much got arrested, like that's when like I feel like a lot of their video, like old sort of videos of like showing the sort of abuse over the years, like sort of
Mm.
like, people had managed to sort of screen record them before they completely deleted. Because I think originally, like she'd apparently said to like Jodie, if anything happened, that she like it was her responsibility to try and like get rid of the videos or something along those lines. And obviously, I think most of them had got taken down, but obviously they've still got backup clips somewhere that the police could obviously get access to.
Yeah, because like, the one that I was wondering is like, how would Eric have got the videos if the channel had been taken down?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have sort of re-uploaded like old clips from like their channel that obviously before they were taken down, just so that obviously she couldn't really deny that nothing had happened or that she'd never like done anything to her kids, because obviously people will go, oh well, there's no evidence, so you can't like you can't charge me for something. But then I think there's enough on her that I don't think she's gonna get out anytime soon.
Oh
I feel
no.
like if she does, it's going to be a joke, because those kids have gone through enough, especially her oldest child, that probably, she tried to protect her younger siblings, but obviously there's only so much you can do when you're also in that situation.
Oh no.
It's kind of like another vlogging channel that their dad got away with a lot, and he messaged underage kids.
Mm.
I don't know how he got away with it, but I was like, great.
Oh bloody hell.
Like it's bad enough, like a nurse that got arrested like this year, like she's going back to trial because she wants to sort of fight against the claims of like that she didn't kill any of the babies that have died. And I'm like, they have the evidence. Like I generally
And this connections thing, right? The Ruby joined after 8 passengers ended. It turned out to be a cult. Apparently, that's what Eric was calling it. He was calling it a cult of some sort.
yeah, that's what a lot of people said, because like in quite a lot of their old videos they used to go to like different things, and people were like, it just didn't seem normal to people. People were like, yeah, that's not something you generally would do.
Yeah.
And people were like, yeah, this seems like dodgy, like it seems like a cult or something. And I was like, to be fair, people are strange. People join weird things sometimes.
I know. It's like Eric was saying in his video. He said Ruby's transition to connections did the business no favors. So
Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes I felt like a lot of people that sort of film their kids, like they make money off their kids a lot of the time, which is quite bad.
you want to know what I think? I think it's sad, right? That a lot of kids, right, they have channels that are run by their parents, right? And they make a shit ton of money from it, but yet they don't give any of the money to their kids when, in a way, it's their kids' money. Like, I know their kids are young, but at least put the money away for their kids.
Well, yeah, it's like you can put it into like a savings like account or whatever for them to go to like I know in most countries, obviously, like America and that, they obviously have to pay tuition fee for like school and stuff. So obviously,
Yeah.
but it's like, there's a lot of YouTubers that don't. There was one YouTuber, like everyone generally thought she died because she did quite a lot of videos, and then all of a sudden it was just like no activity on her channel or like any of her socials, and because her it was controlled by like her mum or her dad,
Yeah.
and her dad made he took her to court for I can't remember what the reason was, but like she couldn't obviously for legal reasons she physically couldn't say anything because obviously it could jeopardize her.
Hmm.
But she came on like a TikTok video and was like, "I'm not dead." She was like, "I was made to be silenced." Showed a picture of like her dad and was like, "This is my dad." Says his name and whatever, and she's just like, "This man is evil. He's tried to make me be quiet for a while." And I was
And
like,
she's how old?
when she like, I think when her channel like when she was made to go silence, I think she was about 9 or 10. She's now 12, maybe.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. Like I don't know what made her go. She went viral for some reason, and then it was just like, yeah, people seen her, and then people were like, where is she? Like people literally thought she'd died. So it was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's partly the reason as to why I don't like to go quiet for too long is because I don't want people to think that I've died or something have happened to me.
Yeah, I felt like sometimes like I've seen YouTubers that have taken like really long breaks, and then like you don't know why until like they decide to come back to YouTube or if they even bother. Because some people have left YouTube and just don't say anything.
I know that's what Eric done. He left YouTube for just over a year, and during that time that he was gone, a lot of people thought he was dead.
I love how everyone's first reaction is just they're dead. It's like they could be busy, but I don't know why
No,
everyone's.
it's because basically there were people making fake accounts under Scare Theatre Official and Scare Theatre whatever. And a lot of people were saying, oh, he's dead and his mum now runs the account. Which another YouTuber who I watch, who I've found through Scare Theatre, because he'd done a couple of videos covering Scare Theatre's disappearance. And he was saying that even if Eric had died and his mum ran the account, then somebody would have said something. You know, his family would have said something, or maybe one of his friends. You know, somebody would have said something. You know,
They wouldn't have just left it as like silent kind of thing.
I know, like when because he done like a reaction video reacting to the Stashi's videos that he'd made about Scare Theatre, and he was pausing it now and then to kind of talk, and he was saying that you would know if I'm dead, it would be obvious, like, you know.
Yeah.
But then it was really as simple as just looking on his Patreon though, because he did post on his Patreon before he closed it that he was busy with college and that.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like when I was ill back, I think it was back in February last year. Now, back I was doing videos every day. For my plan was to do 3 videos a day for a year, plus do a live, which I did do well right up until the 25th of February, I think. I had videos going up on that day, but that was because I scheduled them the night before.
Yeah.
But I woke up early hours and I felt ill. Like I had a bit of a sick bug I did, so I had to lay in bed. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't sit in front of my computer. I couldn't film anything. I couldn't edit anything. I had to just lay in bed. And then about a day or so later of me not being active on my YouTube, Abby messaged me. She unblocked me on Skype and messaged me because she got worried about me, apparently, because I didn't post for a couple of days. And I'm just like, Ab, I'm fine. I'm just not feeling too clever. Like nothing have happened to me. I'm fine. I'm still alive. You know, I'm still here, but I just need a couple of days or maybe even a week to get back up on my feet again because I'm not feeling well. I've got a bit of a stomach bug. And then she was just screaming at me, arguing, and I'm like, fuck this. In the end, I just hung up on her because I thought, if you're just gonna scream at me, then you can just go.
Yeah, it's kind of like I feel like with most people, like I won't deal with it. I'm just like, nah, bye.
I know, but I mean, to think though that something had happened to me just because I've gone quiet for like 2 days. I mean, really?
And kind of like sometimes people go quiet for like different reasons, whether you're busy or like you're doing something, or maybe someone in your family's died, so you maybe just sort of do go quiet for a while.
Like I know it's unusual for me to go quiet for a period of time, but it's like if I'd gone quiet for like say a couple of months,
Yeah,
then I would understand that I'd be getting concerned. But I mean, getting concerned after me going quiet for 2 days, like really,
yeah.
you know,
I feel like
because
sometimes people can take things like way out of proportion.
yeah. But to be honest, I think, I think all she really wanted to do really was just have an argument with me. When bearing in mind, I told her before she started screaming at me, I told her that I wasn't feeling well.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like you know, just didn't really have to go all off on one, but then
I know, and she was like, I still care about you, Nathan. And I'm just like, oh, really? If you really cared about me, then you wouldn't be screaming at me. You'd listen to what I was saying.
yeah, I was gonna go. If you're ill, do you really want someone shouting at you when you feel shit anyway? Like,
Oh, I know.
it's not gonna make you feel any better.
So, yeah, she blocked me again then she left me alone for a while.
Yeah, I've had
Uh,
that. I had trolls earlier, so that was joyous.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had trolls on TikTok, but it's fine. I've kind of like I've been online enough to sort of I've kind of had to grow thick skin to sort of like I've had comments from people for like different things I've done online, but you just kind of have to know that like whatever they say, it doesn't fucking matter. Like their opinion means nothing.
Yeah.
And people just kept coming for me because I'd sort of like I'd said like stuff about like sort of just like the trans community, nothing like bad. It was just showing my sort of support and stuff for people because of everything that's gone on in the media at the moment. Like you know it's hard enough for people who have just come out as trans or have come out years ago.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Going back to Eight Passengers, they I can't remember if it was Ruby or if it was Joey, but one of them they done a video, and Eric done like a free friend thing, and he was like, all that talking just to say, oh, by the way, I'm not transphobic or anything, but yeah, fuck trans people.
Yeah, it's kind of like I feel like
I'm like, really? Nice.
I was like, I had trolls come for me, but I was like, well, I'm supporting them. I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, my cousin's trans. I was like, even if my cousin wasn't trans, I have nothing against people who are trans. I went to uni with somebody who is trans.
Yeah, my friend Taylor, the one who I do videos with sometimes, he's trans,
Yeah.
you know?
I
So,
just kind of,
I've got friends who are trans as well, like.
I was like to people, I was like, they're still humans at the end of the day. I was like, just because they don't agree with the gender they were assigned at birth, I was like, people don't have to come for them for it and be like, oh yeah, you know, you can't be treated in a specific ward because of your, because you don't agree with what you're assigned at as birth. I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
they may be born a male, but generally they believe that they should have been female. Like, how is that wrong?
Exactly, it's not wrong at all.
But it's like they're being
You
made
know?
like fucking be ashamed and feel like that they shouldn't be who they are, which is why I sort of like I said to people like because there was um a guy who transitioned into a girl, and obviously like they were sort of upset on TikTok, and like I put messages out just being like, be who you are, like, don't feel ashamed because of how the media is being, because the media goes for freaking anything they can if it looks like they get them a vote or whatever. But I'm like, the England Prime Minister has not done himself any fucking favours.
Oh no.
I'm like, the fact that people can still applaud the man knowing that he's offshored money to his wife. It's just like, yeah, here you go. It's like, all right. I'm just like, the man's not right in the head. I'm like, he's like Putin.
Oh no.
I swear Putin has something wrong with him. He just keeps trying to go and bomb people. They'll stop attacking you if you stop attacking them. It's like, it's not hard.
Yeah, Eric, he made a tweet he did the other day after he put his video up, his latest video. He put a tweet asking for asking if there were any fluent Portuguese speakers, because he needs one for his next video to help him translate some stuff.
Yeah.
Then you can get software now though in order to help you with stuff like that though,
Yeah.
Because like he done a video on some woman having a panic attack, and he put the video in like some software in it that would like translate the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really look at Eric's in Twitter much, but he puts just random stuff on it, like random posts and
Yeah.
different people.
I used to use Twitter like when it was like sort of quite popular at the time. I don't really tend to ever look at it anymore. I tend to just more look at like either like YouTube or like TikTok and maybe people's Instagram, but most of the people just kind of don't really post on it very often.
I know, I'm the same. I stopped bothering with the Instagram when I got hacked, and because I didn't really use my Instagram much anyway, I didn't bother to open up a new one.
Yeah.
One of my Facebooks got hacked.
Yeah, I had a second Facebook account because I got grounded at one point because I went through a period where I didn't want to eat at school. So I hadn't eaten, and then my mum decided to ground me and take everything off me.
Right.
And then I made a second Facebook just so that I could technically still talked to people while I was grounded, just not on my main personal one that most people have me on now.
Yeah, the one I use now, the one I got you and Nicola on, that's like my main account, but I'm talking about like my old one.
Yeah, I had an old one. I don't actually have it anymore because I deleted it probably like after I obviously got my main one back because I was like, I don't need it.
Which I did use from time to time, but I didn't really bother with it as much.
Yeah.
But they've whoever hacked into it, they changed the email address to get into it and that.
Yeah.
They've done that with my YouTube as well when my YouTube got hacked.
Yeah, people tried to do that with. I had one that tried to do it with my Google account, and because I get like instant notifications, I literally just locked them out of it and was like, "You think I'm stupid?"
Yeah, I know. I was like, but when I got I was obviously able to get my stuff back, thank God. But to be honest,
yeah,
I was quite surprised because I didn't think they were going to be able to help me as much.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's like you never really know depending on what things get like hacked, like whether you'll actually ever get it back. Like,
Yep.
that's why I'm sort of quite careful with like what social medias I kind of have at the moment, just because I tend to not. I either get bored of them or I just don't use some of them very often.
Yeah, so I was quite because I'm not like a big YouTuber. I was quite surprised with the amount of help YouTube were willing to give me.
Yeah, I feel like they don't like obviously like they do value obviously every channel, like whether you're like big or small. Because I feel like obviously if they don't sort of help one person, then it's kind of like most people are going to be like, well, why do I want to be on a platform that's just going to leave me in the dark?
Because Linus Tech Tips, he got hacked, but he was able to get his account back within like a day, whereas me, it took me like 3-4 days to get mine back.
Yeah, I technically did take someone's YouTube account
How?
because like I joined like this was like a few years ago now, like when like YouTube was still like it wasn't like new, but it was kind of like people had been using it for a while, but people did like sort of like collab channels where like maybe 6-7 people were on one account, so you all had like the username and the password.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be able to run like that. Like if people want to do a collab with me, then that's fine. But like I would have to be the one to be in charge of the account. Like,
Yeah, like this, like someone had made the account and then they started like they did like a YouTube video where it was like asking people to basically make a video on their own YouTube channel, like sort of doing a like sort of an audition video. It was really weird. I decided, fuck it, I'd been on YouTube for a while at this point, and my own channel had quite a good, well, it had an all right following at that point. I didn't have that many, but it was like, I think at that point I was on like something like 18-90 subscribers.
hang on,
I was like,
was this with the channel that you've got now, or was this with a different one?
it was with like a different one. So like my first ever YouTube channel, like my username was like Coco54262. I don't know why I picked those numbers. Those numbers have no relevance whatsoever. Just randomly went with weird numbers.
Yeah.
And I did that channel for a while. Like I think when I closed that channel, I was like one away from like 100 subscribers, which for me was kind of an achievement that I didn't think I'd get to.
Yeah, like what sort of stuff did you put on? What sort of content did you put on there?
I did like a mixture of content, so I didn't like it wasn't like my sort of channel now where it's just like sort of gaming videos. I kind of did like at that point like people on YouTube they'd sort of like they could like request like videos that they wanted to see. So I sort of like I gave like my sort of like subscribers sort of free reign to sort of suggest videos, but I sort of was like I wouldn't do all of the suggestions that I got because there were many that were not PG for YouTube. So I kind of just had to filter through ones that I kind of wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then I just did them and I did my own content. But because when I would film, obviously I filmed like basically after I finished school. So I was still in my school uniform. So I kind of had to be wary of like not showing my school logo.
Yeah, I was the same. I do videos after I got home from school, like.
Because I was kind of like the only really time that I could film was kind of after school, because I'd normally get home and then if I knew I had homework to do for like that week or like the following week, I would normally do it first and then I would sit and like film. Because I tried, like at that point, I would upload, I think in one day I uploaded 8 videos.
Mm-hmm.
from the time I got home from school until like about, I think the last video uploaded was like 11 at night, which it's a bit late to upload a video, and I would never upload a video at like 11 at night now. But I just filmed loads in one day, and like I kind of didn't really want to space them out because every day I would sort of upload anyway, so I normally had a few uploads every day that people could watch.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like there was always content going on my channel, and then I joined collab channel that we all had access to. So my day was a Wednesday, so we'd get this channel, like we'd have themes every week of like videos we would have to film.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like there was a couple of times where like people couldn't where like certain girls whose day it was to film, they couldn't do it, and then one of us would get a message like really late, like into that day, being like, oh yeah, can you film a video for so and so's, like for so and so, because they can't do it today. And I had to do the girl who was the day before me, and then my day on a Wednesday anyway. So I was like, well, everyone's gonna get 2 uploads from me this week. It's just gonna be really weird.
Yeah.
And then people started leaving that channel because some of them had different like health conditions, or just they kind of just didn't want to be on the channel anymore. And then it ended up just being me and another girl, but I pretty much was the only one uploading at that point on the channel.
Yeah.
And I got a bit like pissed off about it, and I kind of sent her a message on her like YouTube channel, not like the group one, because obviously she wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
And I kind of just said to her, oh, if you're not going to upload, like, basically, like, I'm just taking the channel, I'm just going to change the password, which I technically did, so I have access to that channel now, but it was never actually mine originally to start off with.
Is the channel still there now? Like, would I be able to look it up? And
I think it's actually actually, let me try and look, because it should be on my phone, but I think it's actually the one. Okay, my thing not work.
like, did you ever do vlogs back in the day at all?
Yeah, I did like I did ones like when I was like over the summer when I was like off school, but like I never really spoke in them because like if I went out in like public, I was quite really like I just felt really weird about like holding my.
I know.
I did it on my
I'm
phone.
exactly the same sometimes. Like I done a Rough Park vlog, which I ended up taking down, but I was sort of whispering at the camera because I felt a bit. I don't know. I guess I felt a bit weird just talking to a camera. But then I think back then, though, I think that was my first time vlogging like outdoors. Because normally when I'm vlogging, I'm normally sitting here
Yeah.
in front of. Do you get me?
Yeah, I was like, I kind of like, for the ones that I did on that channel, like, I never actually really like, I spoke in the sort of like introduction, like, part, but like for the most part of the vlogs, like, it literally was just like clips with just like royalty free music that you could use with like YouTube over the top of them, just so that I didn't get like copyrighted. Because some, like, I did one where I went out like shopping, and obviously in the store they had like music on the radio playing, which obviously I would have got copyrighted for.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I never really spoke of them, which was really weird because it was just like whenever I did vlogs, it was just like, yeah, I never spoke of them because I was too awkward to like talk to a camera.
I know.
With my.
I suppose like, when you're out on your own, though, it can feel a bit awkward. Like.
Yeah, I was like, because I did I tried to do one when like me and Nicola went somewhere, and like I just felt awkward because like, I didn't really want to talk, even though I was with her, and I was also like, I don't really want to shove a camera in her face if she didn't want to be on my channel or have her self sort of be posted online in a sense.
Yeah.
Because obviously I was like, well, I still have to be.
Where were you with her, out of interest?
I think we went into town, and then we went to like just Cardiff Bay for a walk because I guess we were bored, so we just like, okay. But I was like, obviously I didn't want to put her in the videos because I was like, I didn't know if she really wanted to be in them at that point, and I was like, I didn't want to just like. I'm always like it with people when I take photos. Like I barely take photos of people because I'm also the same of like I don't want to just shove my phone in their face.
Yeah, I'm going to Swansea, and I'm going to Bristol with Nicola and Anna and all them, and I'm gonna take my camera with me to take some photos and also do some stuff for YouTube.
Yeah.
And Nicola have asked me to blur her up, which I will do. I'll probably use DaVinci Resolve or something.
Yeah.
Anna said that she doesn't mind, which is fair enough. And I know that Gary most likely isn't going to mind, but it's just Jason I'm worried about most of all.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is because I don't think that Jason really understands, because I don't think he goes on YouTube or anything, does he?
No.
So I don't think he really understands what it is I'm going to be doing with the videos.
Yeah, I felt like I did like when I did do videos, because obviously I went to see my nan like over the summer, and even though I did film videos, like obviously I filmed videos like in the like room that I was staying in, my nan's, and because my little cousin was like she's about 3 or 4 at this point, but she did walk. She kind of came to sit next to me in quite a few clips in the video, and obviously I was kind of like, yeah, I don't like. I like paused the video, and obviously I went to go and speak to like my uncle, because I was like, obviously before I put this up and like edit through it, like I didn't want to put any clips up of her if he didn't want them physically on the internet.
Yeah.
Because obviously she was 3. It's not as if, well, like she could give her consent at that point, but she wouldn't have really understood what she was giving consent for.
Yeah.
And I was like to him, I was like, oh, I filmed this video. I was like to him, I did
Like,
YouTube.
I know, it's the same with Jason. Like, I know I could ask him, but then I feel like he would be giving me consent. Like, if he said to me he wouldn't mind, like, I'd feel like he would be giving me consent without really understanding why he's giving me consent.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes it's kind of like you don't, like you can ask, but it's like if you know that they don't really understand it, it's kind of like he may say yeah, but it's like he's not going to really know what he's saying yes to, or what the implications can be, because obviously like some people, then it's like, your face is out there, people can, some people try and find your information, whatever, because there are weird people that have tried to do that before.
Oh no. It's called.
So I'm like, that's what I was like more concerned about, putting my little cousin out on the internet. And my uncle did say, like, he was like, oh, if you can just, he was like, if you still want to upload the video, he was like, if you can blur her out, or he was like, just not use those clips. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I can just keep those clips for myself and not have them publicly. And then I lost them anyway because my hard drive died, which I learned the hard way, to preferably back up everything.
I know. I've learned that. Like, I've made that mistake.
Yeah, I kind of didn't think it would die, because it was quite like, I bought quite a like high spec, like really good one. So it was like one that I saw loads of videos about, and like people said that it was really good and that it would last a while. So obviously I took the plunge and just bought it, and then it didn't last me as long as what people were saying it would last.
Yeah, but the thing is, the problem with hard drives is they're very unpredictable. Like, they can last you 5 minutes, they can last you 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of like. Once I sort of lost a lot of things, I kind of learned to like sort of back stuff up now, and like put things, like I've got some photos on Facebook, but they're in like a private, like locked like album, so that only I can view them, so they're not like public to everyone I have on Facebook.
Yeah, like,
just so that like if anything does happen, I've got them.
Like, what I'm gonna start, I told you about this, didn't I? Yesterday or the day before. Like, the personal things, like my photos and stuff on my 2 terabyte external drive. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start copying things over onto the memory sticks I had off Nicola and her.
Yeah.
So then I've got, or what I may do is I may wipe I've got a 128 gigabyte drive with Windows 10 installation media on it. But what I may do is format that drive and then use a different drive, like a 32 gigabyte drive as a Windows installation media, because I feel like using a 128 gigabyte USB drive for a Windows installation media is kind of overkill anyway.
Yeah.
So basically, on the 128 gigabyte USB stick, I would put like my YouTube folder on there and pictures and just bits and pieces.
Yeah, like that's what I've like started doing. Like last week I went through and like because there was some like drivers and stuff like where I've stored stuff that like I didn't need anymore, so I've like deleted and like cleared out space for like stuff I didn't need, but I still have like old like pictures like from like family and like ones that like I can't post on social media but I still wanted.
Yeah,
Because I had like ones of like my cousins, like there's like one of me and my cousin which I did post in the end, but I did get like consent from her dad because I was like I can't ask her mum because at that point she'd blocked me.
yeah,
So I was like I'll ask my uncle because technically it's still his kid, and he was like yeah it's fine because he was like it's just going up on your Facebook. He's like it's not like it's going like anywhere else or whatever.
because like I remember when we was on, I can't remember if it was on Skype or if we were on a live stream like we're doing now. But I remember you found a 2 terabyte hard drive on there, a 2 terabyte external hard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, did that hard drive even still work after?
Yeah, it did. I was surprised it worked because it hadn't been plugged in or used for a while, but it did actually work. It had some stuff on it that I forgot I'd even put on it because it was like really old pictures and a few like files from like things that I'd done.
Yeah.
But that did end up like that's died like it died like a few months back, which is some hard drives never last anyway, but I was kind of like I'd managed to get everything off it anyway that I needed before it died.
Yeah, so what did you back that drive onto? Did you just get like a big memory stick, or did you get a new hard drive, or?
I just put it onto like a memory stick, and then I've put like some of it's on like my Google Drive anyway, and then I've got like the pictures. Most of them I like put them onto like Facebook like albums, but I've like locked the albums so that they're not public to people that I have on Facebook, but if I need them, I can go in and get the pictures.
Yeah, I've put things onto Google Drive and as well, but it's mostly like private pictures and that.
Yeah, because I had quite a lot of photos where it's like pictures of like my cousins that I either took or like ones that have been uploaded by like their parents. I had ones from my great nan's like it was like her 80th or 81st birthday. My nan sent me pictures of them because obviously I didn't go because it wasn't like an invite thing. It was just like family had taken her out like sort of last minute. But I don't have that many. I don't really have pictures of my great nan apart from them. And then I took one of her at my nan's birthday. I asked her anyway, but she's 70. I don't think she really knew what she was saying yes to. But I was like, well, I'm not going to post it now anywhere because I know that she's not really a big thing on like social media or having her picture out there. So I was like to her, oh, it's just for my own, I was like to her, I was like, oh, it's just for my own memories. I said to her, for, you know, the day when it does come that she does pass. Because I was like, she's 90. She ain't going to live forever. She's had that many health conditions. through her life and ones that she still has now that she's battling, that I'm like, I wanted to sort of have stuff to remember of her when she does go.
Hmm.
Because I was like, I didn't really have ones of my grandpa or my great grandpa when they died. The only photos that I have of them is my grandpa. I've got his driving license picture because he didn't really do. He wasn't really a man of like where he liked his photo taken. So there's only like, I think in existence there's only about 4 photos of him, and one was from when he like got ill, and my nan was like, I don't want you to have that as a like a memory of him.
Yeah.
Because she was like, you could tell in the picture, if you compared it from his driving license picture, she was like, you can tell he was very pale at that point. He dropped quite a lot of weight off him as well. And obviously, he worked in a hospital at that point. So obviously, they sort of were like, take as much time off as you need to have the surgery and then like sort of come back to work. But obviously, he never did.
Hmm.
So I was like to my nan, that's why I try and sort of have pictures of family members so that if anything does happen to them, I've still got something.
Yeah.
But I was like to her, I just don't post them. Like I had ones of like my uncle that he'd posted quite a lot on his Facebook, like pictures of him through his life. Like he posted one when he went to, I think he went to Spain, but he went out like sort of gambling a bit and he won quite a bit of money and he had a photo where he was so happy.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, it was quite nice because like he was always like, he never really gambled very much, but he was always into sort of his favourite football team is like Aston Villa.
Oh, right.
So it was like whenever they would play, like he constantly would watch it, like whether it was in the house or at the pub. Mainly he would go to the pub and watch it because you could have a drink and he only had to walk home. Pissed. But it was funny.
Yeah.
And then obviously when he died, like because most of his friends, like as a nickname, they all called him Villa, so they went to like his favourite pub and had like a drink, obviously, in memory of him, which was nice. But obviously, I just couldn't go because it had snowed at that point. So my nan was like, she told me and my uncle like not to travel
Yeah.
because she was like, we would have got stuck. She was like, I don't want either of you to get stuck. Basically, just to have to come. Because my mum still had to be in work the next day, so she's like, we literally were only going up for a couple of hours to have to come home.
Yeah. Hello, whoever's watching us.
Hello.
So it says on Restream, it says there's one person watching us. Oh,
I wonder.
they've disappeared.
It's like, bye.
I don't. Restream's weird because it sometimes says like there's 1 or 2 people watching, but then when you go on YouTube, it says there's nobody watching, so I don't know what the big deal is with it. It's weird because it feels weird then saying hello when there's actually no one there.
Yeah. It's probably more weirdo like when you do lives and like obviously there isn't anyone and it's just you by yourself because then it's kind of like, what are you supposed to do for the amount of time you're on a live?
Yeah, I've got 3 thumbs up on this stream, so I'm gonna hazard a guess and say it might be Nicola or Charlene or somebody. You know?
Yeah.
I was right, it was Nicola. Hey, babe. Alright?
Oh. You didn't disappear to Narnia then? The Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe.
No, she didn't disappear.
Sometimes she disappears to Narnia. Or who knows where.
Yeah, but it's not often though, is it? She does that.
Oh no, she did the one day.
Did she?
I messaged her and then she didn't reply for ages. And I was like, where the fuck is she gone?
Yeah.
I was like, she just died on me as she's gone to sleep. I was like, where the fuck is she gone?
Mm.
I was like, okay. I was like, I'll play the waiting game, see how long it takes her to reply.
Yeah.
She's done that before. Or like the time that I was on the phone to her and then all of a sudden she just fell asleep and I'm like, is she dead? It's like, no, she fell asleep.
Yeah, she's done that to me a couple of times. I
got concerned because I honestly thought she had died because I'm just like, she went silent. I'm like, hello? It's like one of them commercials that it's like you hear someone go hello, but you never hear the end of the line.
I know.
But hello, can you hear me now? How about now? How about now? How about now? You never hear the other person.
I remember I said to her, right, I'll be back in about 10-15 minutes. I'm going to want to have a cup of coffee and go and use the loo. I came back and she was asleep.
She fell asleep quite quickly.
Oh, bless.
Please don't throw up on Sky.
Oh,
Again.
She's feeling sick. Oh, bless.
Nicola, just don't throw up on the cat. You did that to Sky.
I was about to ask you, is she ever done that?
She's done it many times to Sky. She threw up on Sky once and then Sky ended up cleaning herself and I was like, Sky, you really don't want to do that.
Mm.
I looked at Sky then, I took one look at her and she tried to come near me and I'm like, no, stay away. I'm like pushing the cat, just like, stay away, Sky, stay away.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know. I think that's a very common thing though for a lot of people, doesn't it? Like the heat gets to them and then they're just too tired.
I mean, the heat normally gets to me and then I'm like, no, I'm too boiling, I can't sleep.
I know. I remember back when I was a kid, right? I woke up during the night and I couldn't decide if I wanted my blankets on or off. It was like 1 minute I was too hot, so I'd take my blankets off, and then I'd be too cold, and it's like I was just, it was doing my head in, so I had to calm my room, but I just didn't know what to do. This was back when I was a kid, man, so.
Oh, poor Sky. Sky's gonna need a bath.
Sky. Oh, bless her.
Sky's gonna need a bath. At least Sky likes baths. Most cats do not.
Yeah.
I know, Sky's jumped in the bath before. Nicola was running a bath, and she had obviously left it to run and then come back to, get in it. And Sky's just there in the bath, and I was just like, Sky's having fun.
Oh, God.
No, it was a bubble bath as well, though, so it's just Sky randomly pops her head up at one point, and I'm just like, that's Sky.
Yep.
In the bath.
What did you do in that situation, love? Did you have to, empty the bath out and then start all over again?
I was like, yeah, Sky ain't moving out of that bath. Sky.
Mm.
She's like, yeah. She's like, I like her.
Yep.
She's a strange kitty.
Sky washing herself. Yeah.
You can stay from me for now. I'll see you with a gas mask on. Just, hi, Sky. I also need to buy new headphones. Yay. Again.
Yeah, I prefer having showers I do nowadays instead of having baths. Because years ago I did used to say to my mum that I do prefer baths instead of showers. But then I was having baths a lot more instead of showers, and then I started having showers more regular instead of baths, and then I realised how much quicker.
I tend to normally have a bath more during the summer, and then the winter I try and have showers just because it's quicker.
Yeah, I have showers nowadays regardless of whatever time of year it is, just because it's quicker.
Yeah, I don't really know why.
I joined it.
She was like, it's too much effort to empty the water, so she's like, okay.
Oh, funny.
Oh no, Sky's joined Damon in the shower before. He's getting ready for work, and all of a sudden he was like, What's this against my foot?" It's just Sky. Say hello. She wanted to get cleaned.
It's strange that my cat likes sick.
Yeah. I mean, Nicola, your cat likes a lot of things. Sky. She likes death. Just death don't want to take her, so you know.
Does she?
Yeah, Sky likes death. She's literally intentionally gone and led in a road before, knowing that she's probably going to get hit.
Oh God.
So yeah. Oh yeah, Nicola, did she get the parrot in the end?
Oh.
Oh no, last night Nicola was with her. Nicola, like one of Nicola's neighbours, has like chickens or something outside, and Sky was trying to nab one.
Corneen or Yen, hello. I've never seen you before.
I don't even want to try and say their username, but interesting. Cornyen. I don't know how to say that. Is it like cornfield? I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know, I'm gonna go to the channel now and have a little look.
Hiccups now for some reason. This is fun. Ow. I have hiccups. Ow.
Because they made the channel in April of this year.
Ow.
I thought you were gonna fart then, Chels.
No, I randomly have hiccups. I don't know why, because I'm drinking squash. So it's not as if I'm drinking anything that has bubbles in. But for some reason, I keep hiccuping.
Yeah, that is a bit strange.
Yeah, I get weird. Like, sometimes I either get hiccups or, like, I had, like, acid reflux the other day, and I was like, I've never had any issues with that, but, like, randomly it was like, I sat there, and then all of a sudden I could feel, like, it, like, up my throat, and I was like, okay, this is strange, because I don't suffer with it at all.
Babe, you still there?
Yeah, I was going to win, unless she's going to be sick again. Just not over the cat. At least I'm not there, because I don't deal with people being sick. I have a fear of throwing up myself.
Yeah, I've always had that fear though, me.
Yeah, I've kind of always had it since like when I got really badly ill in 2016, and I threw up every day for like literally like 2 weeks straight.
Did
And
you?
I would yeah, it was really weird because it was like it was only in the mornings, so it was kind of like I would either like
Mm.
wake up and instantly throw up, or like I would have like I remember like most days it was like I could have a bite of my cereal and then all of a sudden I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna throw up, and I'd throw up more than what I'd eaten.
Yeah.
And it was weird because it was like I went to the doctors because obviously I was like, okay, this is concerning. See if it's what they say. And first of all, they just thought, oh, maybe I was like intolerant to milk because that's what I would normally drink.
Mm.
So they were like, I'll cut this out. So like I went back like a week later and I'm like, yeah, I'm not any better. I'm literally still throwing up. And they're like, if you cut out this and this and this and what we told you to, I'm like cut it all out. And they were like, still to this day, they still couldn't figure out why I just randomly was ill, because they were like, well, you're not intolerant to milk because I cut it out and I was still being ill. And they thought maybe it was like things that I'd eaten. So they were like, oh, try and eat something else. And they were like, yeah, no. And then obviously I lost a shit ton of weight,
Mm.
which obviously they were concerned about. So I had to go and see a dietitian for about, I seen her for like 4 months, I think. And then I got discharged because she was like, I'd put on a bit, but not a lot at that point. But it was kind of like, she was like, there's not much else that we can do for you. She was like, we've given you recommendations. You just kind of have to carry on with them.
Yeah.
And obviously, they'd put me on like anti-sickness tablets at that point. So they were like, I'd take them first thing in the morning, like once I woke up, and then I would have to give it like time to settle in before I could have any food because they were concerned in case I threw up.
Yeah.
And I had to like reduce my sort of intake of them because the doctors were like, oh, because the ones they put me on, they're very like they were quite a like high dosage that they were like I could get addicted to them quite quickly.
Yeah.
And it was like one tablet could last about 4 full days in my system, which is quite concerning for a medication to last that long. And I just like I didn't feel myself on them. I literally didn't feel human. And like the amount of times Nicola seen me when I was taking them, and like even she was like, you don't seem like yourself, like before I got ill.
Mm.
And it took me probably like near enough a year and a half to like 2 years to fully feel like myself again. Like once I sort of stopped taking them, and like I was kind of like, even if I got bad again, I wouldn't go back on them because I was just like, I had such a bad experience with them
Mm.
that I was just like, I'm not doing it. And like, since then, I've been fine, but it's like, I've always had a fear of throw up since I was a kid. But like, when I did throw up every day in like 2016, I literally started shaking because I was like, I'd literally sit there on the floor, like shaking and crying because I was like, I don't want to be, but I can't control it.
Yeah.
And it was worse because it was like, I was also like, I was also sick like the day of my uncle's wedding as well. Like I got to my nan's and that morning I felt sick, but I didn't throw up. I was fine. Got to my nan's. I think I had like a sip of a drink, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Yeah, I feel sick," but I was like, I didn't want to be sick in my nan's house. Don't know why I had a weird thing that I was like, don't want to. So I was like, I'll be sick outside. So I did, and my nan's like to me, she's like, "You're right." She's like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, I don't know, nan. I was like, I have no clue. And then I was sick again later that day. But it was weird because it was the first time I'd been sick, like not in the morning, where I'd been sick like in the evening time. So I was like, okay, this is what I've had before.
Yeah.
And I had to go back to the doctors again and go through like more of them just being like, we don't know what it is. Like, you know, we've looked at everything that you eat, because they made me keep like a food diary for about like a week just to see sort of what I eat on a daily sort of basis, to see if it was anything that I maybe had been intolerant to. And they were like, yeah, we can't figure it out. And then I had to go back to a dietitian again. It was the same lady. And I was like, I'm like there going, I'm like, yeah, she's gonna remember me. She may not, because, you know, they see a lot of people every day. She remembered me. She's like, back again. I was like, yep. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't want to be here as much as you probably don't want to see me. Thankfully, I haven't had to go back since, or hopefully we'll never have to go back to them, because some of their comments was just, they were like, eat this, and I was like, thanks for that. One lady was like, she was just like, eat like a cup of like pistachio nuts every night, and she was like, you'll put on weight. I was like, I don't like pistachio nuts. I was like, not really a fan of them. She's like, how about peanuts? I was like, I don't mind them, but I was like, I just find them boring.
Yeah.
And then she kept suggesting, she's like, oh, just shove a load of donuts down your face. And I was like, normally you tell people to avoid doing that because, you know, obesity and all. And she's like, yeah, but you need it. I was like, thanks.
It's a bit strange, isn't it?
Yeah, I was like, most of the time they sort of, you know, I was like, yeah, but you're a dietitian. I was like, most of the time you would think that they'd suggest sort of more healthier options, like, you know, still maybe have bits of junk food, but mainly more healthy things. And she was just suggesting loads of like unhealthy options.
Yeah.
Which I was kind of like, don't really know. But I mean, since then I haven't had to go back. Like, I've had doctors check my weight and stuff since then, but they've all kind of, the last time I got it checked, they looked at what weight I was then to what weight I am now, and they're like, you know, you have put on weight. So they're like, you're still underweight in a sense for what my height is, but they were like, you're not dangerously low as what I was then.
Yeah.
Because they were like, at that, like, 2016, like, my BMI was like near enough, like, it was near enough like 5 point something, which the doctor was like, he turned around and he said, like, I would have diagnosed you with an eating disorder. He's like, even though you don't have one and you haven't told me that like you restrict food or whatever, but he was like, because of your BMI, he was like, it kind of lines up with somebody who would have an eating disorder.
Yeah.
And I turned around and was just like, but I don't, because I was like, I did restrict my food prior to that, but that was more a like sort of bullying issue and a like just issue mentally in my head that I kind of had to get through to not do it. Because it was like, I kept thinking I was fat even though I obviously wasn't. So I kind of did more damage to myself than I did good.
Oh.
Which is why I said to the doctor, like, I didn't hide it. I was honest with him and said it, so like that they knew. Because I was like, well, it's not as if they'd find out, but I was just like, I'd rather him know.
Yeah.
But most of my doctors now, that have seen me, they're just like, well, you've put weight on. They're like, you know, you're still low, but they're like, we're not going to investigate it any further and whatever, because they were like, you know, they've always kind of said, they're like, you know, I've always been slim since I was a kid anyway, so they were always like, you know, you're bound to sort of have these issues anyway. They were like, the only time that they would investigate it is if I personally like brought it up and wanted them to look into it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, then that's your choice. They were like, you know, the times that we've investigated it, they were like, it's not been your choice, it's been forced onto you, which is, I did retaliate with a member of staff because I just kind of, I felt like that they just didn't really understand me and they were just being a bit intrusive. And I was kind of like to them, I was like, I don't want to sort of have questions asked about my weight. And I was like to Mum, I eat. I just, at that point, I struggled to keep weight on.
Did you?
Yeah, I kind of like, I went through a period where it's like my weight would fluctuate between like two numbers and it was always between those two. I could never, when I went to the dietitian, like I put a bit of weight on, but not a lot, but it was always, I put it on and then I'd lose it literally like instantly by doing nothing. And I said to the member of staff, I said, it's not as if I'm not trying to put it on or that I'm trying to kind of not follow what they wanted, but I was like to her, I was like, I physically can't keep the weight on. But since then, I've kind of, it's kind of switched. It's kind of like I can keep the weight on,
Yeah.
which is better because at least I'm not worrying about like, oh, like I'm losing it, but I don't really check it as much as I used to because I used to stand on the scale probably 15, 16 times a day, which is not healthy, obviously.
Nope.
But I had like just a thing where I had to, and it was like I would beat myself up if the number was lower than what it was the previous time I checked it, like whether it was an hour ago, 2 hours ago. And I'm like, well, obviously it's going to be different because depending what I've done.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I've drank something and I've then gone to the toilet, I was like, half the time, most of it is like water retention anyway. So it's like, it's not entirely an accurate number, but doctors kind of know now not to really, like, they sometimes ask because the one that I'm currently at now, because obviously I had to change doctors, they don't have most of my files at the moment because they're still waiting to get them.
All
But
right.
obviously they are wait situation.
Hmm.
Because it's like they said, like they could add me in their system, but they were like, "Oh, it can take a while for us to get your files from the other doctor." And I was like, I was kind of worried because I was like to my mum, I was like, "Well, I do take medication, so I kind of need you to have my files to know what meds I take."
Yeah.
And I was like, because I also don't have that many of them left, because I generally thought I would still be with my old doctors that I could just do like the repeat prescription. I was like, now I can't because I have to wait for my new doctors. Because I tried to sort it out the other week, I kind of feel a bit pissed off with the doctors already, and I haven't physically seen them at all because I mentioned about my meds, and they were like, "Oh yeah, like we can't." Because I asked to like book an appointment to see a doctor, kind of thing, and they were like, "Oh yeah, like we can't book you one," but they were like, he was like, "Oh well, wait until you're on your last dosage of like your medication and then try and then basically phone and request to speak to a nurse," because he was like, we have to do like checkups anyway of your medication. Just I'm meant to get checkups every like 6 months, but I never have because my old doctor's just never bothered.
Yeah.
Which I think they're supposed to, but like to them, because I'd never like gone to them and said anything like, "Oh, my meds don't work," or like I'm on the wrong dose, they kind of just didn't feel like the need to. Even though the meds that I'm on can cause like blood clots and stuff.
Oh, can
So
they?
it is supposed to. Yeah, it can cause like blood clots in my leg. It can cause like obviously I'm at a high risk anyway of cancers, which they know about anyway, like they're made aware of that. But obviously
I've just liked your sorry to but I've liked your status from 2 hours ago.
oh yeah.
Yeah, for some reason though, I only had like it's weird because Facebook it only gives me notifications for people's statuses sometimes hours after they've put the status out.
Yeah, I get that with like um I get that normally with Liam's because I have like his on, but like I normally get the notification like either hours after he's uploaded, or I get ones from like the day before but it's like he's posted it like today, and I'm like, well, that was posted yesterday. Why am I getting a notification now?
Oh no.
It's a bit weird, but it's like, fair enough.
Huh.
But I'm like, my new doctors is like, yeah, they don't want to give me my pills until I near enough ran out. And I was like to him, I was like, yeah, I was like, you have to order mine in because I have to get them ordered from a pharmacy, but it's quite good where my doctor's is that there's a pharmacy like literally next door.
Yeah.
So it's not as if I have to travel far. But I was like to them, I was like, well, normally when I get it from my old doctors, it could take like between like 3 and 4 days for them to order it because it's not one that they stock on the shelves. It's one that they have to order from like a supplier,
Yeah.
which is weird. And I was like to him, I was like, well, if I'm coming when I'm on my last pack of pills, I was like, how can I be guaranteed that I'm going to have the rest of the pills that I need going forward if you're going to make me wait to see a doctor? And he was like, oh, we may, like, the doctor's like, he's like, oh, we may change your pills to a different brand so that it's a little bit easier for you. And I'm like to him, I'm like, yeah, but I've taken the brand that I'm currently taking. I was like to him, I've taken since November, like 2022. So I was like, he said, yeah, but the ingredients that are in the ones that you currently take will be the same as a different brand. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know how I'm going to react to the other brand.
Yeah.
And I was like, I already went through like withdrawal symptoms from the ones I currently take because when I got them, I only got them from the hospital. So they only gave me like 3 months worth. And then they sort of said that my GP would give me like the ones going forward, which didn't happen. And I had to fight my GP every month from January of this year till I didn't start taking them again until like June or July. So I was like, I literally was phoning up every month, speaking to like receptionists, and they were telling me like, well, it's not really an emergency. And I was like, it's medication that I am meant to be taking, I'm not taking. And I was like, I felt ill every day, and like I just felt like dizzy and everything like that. And I was like, yeah, this ain't normal. But the only thing that I was like, it was from taking my tablets.
Yeah.
And it was like, it took me so long to get back on them. And then I was like, I don't want to have to like go through that battle again of fighting a completely different doctor that doesn't know much about my background to get them again. And I was like, well, I don't really want to change brands just because they feel like it would be better, because they're like, oh, well, they, like when I mentioned the brand to him, he was like, I've never heard that brand at all. And I'm like, you're not the first doctor that said it. There's many doctors I've seen that go, what brand's that? They're like, what? And I'm like, it's the brand, I don't know. I'm like, they may all do the same thing, but I was like, I've just taken that one. I'm like, I don't like taking them because I generally I don't want to have to like rely on them.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know if I stop taking them, then the problem that I have it will never solve itself. So it's kind of like, I either take them or I just deal with the fact that I don't have something that I should.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, kind of, doesn't work out either way, but I'm kind of like, the only good part of taking my tablet is that obviously I at least know it works as it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I don't want to rely on them forever, but I'm like, I also can't. I know coming off them, when I came off them, isn't easy either.
Yeah.
Because I went through months of feeling shit. How loud is it? It's not loud. pores in these houses. They're how paper thin. I can also hear my stepdad snore.
Oh god.
That's when you know how he snores loud though. So it's like even though their room is like literally next door, I can still fucking hear him. So I'm just like, like, bro, the joys. The joys of snoring.
Right, Chelsea, I'm gonna head off now, right? Because I'm gonna be going to bed soon.
Okay.
Is that alright? And I'll do another live stream then tomorrow.
Yeah, it's fine.
Nice one, Chelsea. Bye, Chelsea. Thanks for coming on.
It's alright.
Bye. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the flip side.